get all loosey goosey for it. Get fucking wacky
It's
with
just
it.
like an empty chair.
Your camera, we're live. But your camera shows you as an empty chair right now.
Yeah, I do see it. And
here we go.
Well,
no.
I'm back.
We have to have your camera up now.
I think we've always had to have it up.
Okay,
and
it just was minimized or whatever?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Welcome back to the Content Complete podcast featuring myself, Spencer, and my friend Matt.
Yo.
And my friend Fiskegg.
Yo.
Hattie. Oh, wait, no, wait a minute.
Yod for both, man. You got to be quick.
That's illegal.
And there's a delay, but you know what? That sucks.
You son of a bitch. What can you do?
But yeah, so we're here to talk about games we played and also just, some general things that happened in the video gaming sphere. Really just a couple of things that is on the docket for the
really
day.
specifically two things.
Really just two things. All right.
Just two
and they're similar events. Some would say that they're maybe tangentially related, they both involve money and video game companies. Yeah, Matt, what do you think?
Some people would say that
about the Microsoft buying.
No, we're just gonna start with the news.
Well, I know we're talking about it.
Yeah, might as well. I don't care.
Finish your question.
Yeah, no, but you do have to finish the question.
What do you think about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard?
I don't know. We'll see.
And that's the news.
I don't know. I really like. I'm still not gonna play any Activision Blizzard. Well, really, mainly Blizzard.
Yeah.
Activision is much harder to boycott them because they just have lots of other shit.
It's true.
And I don't want to put in the effort to do that. Whereas with Blizzard, I don't have to compromise my ideals and just not play like 4 games.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
It's one of those things where growing up as such a big Blizzard fan, right? It's like I've definitely successfully been not playing their games, and I'm just gonna go forward, also not playing their games until I see some type of positive change. And it's one of those things where, yeah, I don't know. It's very rare that there's a decision to be made where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna boycott this thing, and I don't do that, But
really, it's mostly I'm just not gonna interface with their shit.
Yeah, it's actually been kind of easy. I mean, there have been things that have pulled at my.
It's like the equivalent of changing like your avatar profile picture on like Facebook to like black and white or some shit for some movement.
It's true. We don't have like any power
with a sticker and stuff. Yeah,
You're like, I support this,
right?
By doing nothing.
Because I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the games that I would usually enjoy to play, or like the IPs that I would usually like to interface with, I've already kind of stopped liking as much by the time all this started to happen. Right? Like World of Warcraft.
It is.
I haven't played that.
It is kind of funny. Like all the games kind of have slowly went on the decline for that. From what I understand, I haven't really interacted with a lot of Blizzard stuff, but it has been like on the slow. From what I understand, it has been going on like a slow decline for a while,
a decade.
Yeah.
So
almost as bad as it's been good.
Now, yeah, for sure.
That's true. Yeah.
I think the last time we really played a Blizzard game was Diablo 3, and just about hate played the last bit of that.
Yeah, I think I uninstalled that live on stream because that game is garbage.
Matt uninstalled it live on stream.
Ooh.
Classic event.
There's been a few of those.
Yeah.
A few live installations. You'll love to see it.
That game was bad. Garbage.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a slog, right? Towards the end or whatever.
It just wasn't fun.
I didn't play it.
No, dude. Yeah. We were wrecking shit so hard that that we were going faster than the game was designed to allow us to go in the boss encounters. Right?
Oh yeah.
We were melting things so fast that it had to catch up to us with its like planned events throughout the battle. We would like destroy something in 10 seconds, and then we'd have to wait for it to catch up to get to the next phase because it was so broken. It was not challenging. A lot of the systems were bullshit, and it wasn't an engaging storyline really even. And it just felt like a whole big pile of nothing. especially from a group of people that previously had gotten so much enjoyment out of playing like Diablo 2 and stuff like that. And now it's really hard to go back and play Diablo 2.
I'm not going to play Diablo 2.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's not going to play it. I'm not going to play it by myself. Even
well,
though
it's made by Blizzard, so therefore I can't.
Oh, that too.
Until Bobby Kotick calls me and apologizes.
Personally. For everything. He has one by
one.
So
he's apologizing for everything to you. Is
yes.
that?
Yes.
So he didn't personally slight you. He's just apologizing for all the shit he's done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Specifically to you.
Yep.
Okay. Matt needs to get the scoop.
Once he gets to the M's on the list that he has to make, because he's going to call everybody individually. Obviously, it's not, the world doesn't revolve around myself.
No, the world is in alphabetical order.
Wait, so he's calling everybody in the world, or just everybody in the United States?
Everybody that he's slighted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a little concerned as to how he got the. Okay.
What? Go ahead. Oh, I
was going to ask how he got out the information for all these people.
I got like a real ID sign in for Blizzard. You know, when they made you do that. Use your real name and shit.
Yeah, he's got his information.
He knows me.
Yeah. He's aware. We know he's aware. You can't even deny that.
No,
I got one of those too.
No, that Bobby. I was gonna do a stream last night. I'm gonna work on my Photoshop skills, and since I'm pretty sure Bobby's just gonna kind of get away with everything, I'm just gonna start bringing back Devil Bobby Kotick's just for 1, Photoshop practice, and 2, it's fun.
Nice.
I mean, I got images saved. I'm ready to go, but
nice. You got to do what you love. You have to make the process fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's 2 birds, 1 cup, or whatever.
Yeah. 2 birds, 1.
So yeah.
2 birds, 1 cup.
Calico.
So Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for like what?
What are you trying to say, Matt?
Cloaca.
Wait, what?
Cloaca.
Yeah.
Oh, cloaca.
2 birds, 1 cloaca.
Yeah.
I see. Well, yeah, I mean, it's usually just. I'm not going to get into bird now. It was not. This is a video game podcast. This is not a bird podcast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ask your question, Fizzcake. You were asking.
I was just going to try to bring us back on topic.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I was just verifying. Was it like 68 billion or 69 billion for Active Blizzard?
I want to say 68.
68.
That sounds about right to me.
Either way.
I don't really remember, but a lot of money, like a historic amount for sure.
Well, for like the first 2 days that like it came out, all the news, people was like, Microsoft bought them for 67 billion, 68 billion, 68.5 billion, 69 billion. And it's just like, okay, just.
We get it. They bought them. Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, by how much?
Yeah, some
right.
This is money that no one can even quantify.
It's true.
You can't even fathom it. Yeah, no. Yeah.
So like, who gives a fuck?
You can't count that high in your life. It's impossible.
So like,
it's like the borderline magic.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't. I'm never going to understand it.
Yeah.
So
for a lot of money,
yeah. So, anyways, we're not gonna play their games. In fact, I sent Matt an article that I had found. I haven't looked at like video game article stuff in a long time, but I have a whole app called Feedly that I have like sifting the internet for me to get all the articles back when we did that more often. And so I still have that on my phone. So I went and looked recently because like obviously all this stuff was happening. And there was an article where they released the FAQ of what Activision Blizzard had told their internal staff about what was happening. Because, of course, the people who work for them probably didn't even know, like a large portion of them probably didn't even know that the purchase was happening, because that's the way it is a lot of the time.
Well, you have to keep that shit secret.
Yeah, you have to keep it super secret, right? So they have this FAQ that they gave out, and you can tell that it's kind of internally facing, because they talk about specific stuff to employees and what they would care about, you know? But one of the things that was mentioned on a few occasions, there was no mention of Bobby Kotick leaving.
He says he's going to hang on until this is done in 2023.
Yeah, and so there were...
So we don't know if he's going to leave.
Right.
Which, like, why don't you just fuck off and go somewhere? Like, I don't know, just like, you're good.
It's really it's a situation that doesn't often happen, because in most of the time when something crazy happens, the CEO or whatever president or whatever is like immediately fired or gotten rid of, or they immediately like leave. And
yeah, but this wasn't a hostile takeover. This was like
Well, no, I'm just talking
acquisition.
when something bad happens, you always hear about the CEO like resigning, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And that just didn't happen in this case. And people are like, what?
But all the history.
Yeah. But every other company does it that way.
Bobby's like, I don't know,
that's
not me.
Nah, I'm not leaving.
I'm built different.
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy. But, I mean,
it's
there were rumors
same
about
method he's been
leaving.
using for years. It's just, him wringing games dry. He's just wringing Blizzard dry or whatever until he gets as much money as he possibly can. And then he will fuck off. Maybe. Or he'll just go buy another business or start something else. I don't know. But
man,
he's in there for every single fucking dog. It's just
he has
more money than most people. Right, yeah. He has more money than anybody can imagine.
Like, no matter what, if he quits or leaves or anything, he gets $300 million.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Just for leaving.
What an amazing contract this guy has.
He built the company. He's like, just in case.
And that was smart. I mean, don't like the guy, but I mean,
can't deny his businessness.
Yeah.
He knows how to work the capitalism game.
He knows how to put in a clause for himself. The Bobby clause.
Exactly. No, yeah, I can't imagine having you guys actually have had experience with Blizzard and stuff, and having to kind of boycott it after all this time probably doesn't suck in the sense that you're doing it for a good cause, but it's just
no, I haven't played a Blizzard game since the Blitzcrank shit that they did for the Free Hong Kong stuff.
Yeah.
Where they banned that.
Oh,
that guy.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I don't even think Matt and I really talked about it. It was just we're just not going to do it anymore. Which it was already made easy by the fact that, again, like you were saying before, they've already shit on their own games. It's not like we were playing this all the time. I just have nostalgia for the time that I really enjoyed playing the games in the past. I loved playing StarCraft 2, and I always wished I put more time into it. But then at the same time, it's they kind of just ruined their own scene and let the game die and totally destroyed the meta twice to make it just completely not enjoyable to play, and just ultimately fuck their own fan base prior to any of the reasons why I would want to boycott them. And so it was made easier by the fact that I already wasn't playing the games because I was upset about the quality of them. And now it's now I have a moral reason not to. And so now it's just holding the line in case something cool actually does come out. That's the only challenge left. And luckily that hasn't happened because it's still shit.
So, silver lining.
I guess, yeah.
Right.
It's a shame, no, it is. I would love to be able to do something go back and play StarCraft 2 like it was back in 2015 or something.
Really, 2015?
Right. Maybe
that's
earlier.
When you want to go?
Maybe earlier. I don't know. Back before the first expansion actually would be
when it was good.
I would want to go back. Yeah, just Wings of Liberty. Because first expansion came out and it was okay, this is different, but whatever. And then I kind of stopped playing midway through that one. And then the next expansion came out and I just didn't even come back for it. But yeah, I want to go back to that period of time where everybody was when StarCraft was still one of the biggest events on Twitch. But that can never come back. Yeah. That can never happen again. So.
Well, I mean, Phil Spencer said something about this is going to take years and years before we see anything come out of this deal, actually,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they were working on stuff,
finalize.
but
yeah.
But it's seeing any kind of product's going to take years. But I think Phil Spencer said he wants to try to bring back some of the classic Blizzard stuff. Maybe, I mean, obviously they're going to look to see what they can do because they got the Game Pass, so they're going to be hey, StarCraft 3 and Game Pass exclusive. Buy 10 copies of Game Pass, please.
That would be
this
interesting.
Is what we live on.
I mean, they really should bundle a WoW subscription in with Game Pass.
Yeah.
That would pump up those.
That would.
Oh, did you hear the new WoW news?
Yeah. I did hear the new WoW news. Spencer, have you heard the new WoW news? I don't want to tell anybody else unless all of us have heard it.
I've heard of it.
I haven't heard it. I'll be honest, I haven't heard it.
You haven't heard it?
No, I haven't heard the new WoW yet.
Oh, well, now you can do raids, instances, and some other shit with the Horde.
With the Horde.
Yeah. So like now
It's
Oh
you
my-
can do
they're
both. You can play with
mixing
both sides.
Sides?
Yep.
Not
Excuse
they're not
me?
mixing it like in the way that I think everybody's thinking they're mixing it. They're mixing it in these certain specific ways.
Wait, is this to make up for the fact that they have a lower user base now? So
No, they're doing it too because like literally the Horde swings so hard in
players
like amount compared to Alliance in the US.
the Alliance,
That the Alliance has like nobody to raid with. I'm serious.
Oh wow,
That's so
the
sad.
reason.
Like they literally cannot do in-game content.
As an Alliance player, damn.
Yeah.
It's always been like that.
Right.
And then like in Oceania, there's like no Horde. So it's all Alliance, and it's the same problem.
That's funny.
Gotcha.
And there are literally servers, because I've been watching Asmongold, where he'll go in and there's like 99.8% Horde, and there's 10 Alliance characters. 10. 10. And then he goes in there and he talks to them. He's like, why are you guys still playing on this server? He's like, I don't know. It's just kind of fun. Like, you know, we're just like hanging out and like, it's just like the 10 of us. And they're like, they'll look at like the raid logs and be like, so like 2 weeks ago, there was like a 8-man raid when it was supposed to be like 25-man. And they're like, was that you guys? And they're like, yeah, that was us. We would have had like 9, but our warrior dropped out. So it was just us 8. And we're like, fuck it, let's run it.
That actually sounds kind of fun, dude. There's something about the scrappiness of it, right? You're like, it's just us, man. Let's meet up in Stormwind. All right, what are we doing this week, boys? You know, we're it for the continent. It's crazy.
They can finally make a Hateful Eight movie about MMOs.
Yeah, there you go.
The 7 samurai or whatever. The
number
9
and then
alliance.
thing.
The
Exactly.
Alliance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I was just trying to say everything
that.
but ridiculous 6. I was just trying to make sure that didn't get brought out.
Right.
You know?
Right. I got you. Yeah, that's nuts.
But yeah,
dude.
so that's the WoW news. Yeah, I heard about that on the podcast. I'm like, oh,
I mean,
wow,
that makes sense.
Because I was like, I mean, I'm sure it's to help with what Matt just said, but it's also just kind of crazy because that was like always been the WoW thing. It's everybody I've heard talk about. It's like, yeah, for the Horde or whatever, for the I don't fucking know. You guys know, but
yeah,
like Horde rules, Alliance rules, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think we both had characters on the other side too, just didn't put nearly as much time into it. Yeah. Mainly because we liked the Night Elves and we liked the dwarves and the whole dwarf stuff. You know, that was the main thing. And I don't want to play like an orc.
Yeah,
sue me.
you know, that's good. A lot of people are excited about that.
I'm really interested about what the combination of stuff's gonna happen, because are there still classes and stuff like that are exclusive to each one, or have they already kind of emulsified all that already? Like as far as like, because I remember that
I'm pretty sure
on Horde for a while, but
that was like literally
a long time ago. Yeah, but I'm saying
they flipped that up in the first expansion.
Okay, well, like that example of there being something specific to one side.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so then it won't change like the meta too much necessarily.
It won't change the meta at all.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I was curious to see if there was anything unique to one side that might, when they combine, make things like a little bit more interesting. But it's just being able to have more players. So that's why I was kind of bringing that up, because I just haven't thought about WoW since last time I played it.
Now I wonder if there's going to be like inside of these parties, there's going to be like, oh, I can't believe I had to work with this Alliance asshole.
Dude,
I'm not going to
what's so
revive
fucked
him.
up is like every expansion is like big threat. Horde and Alliance got to be like, all right, we hate each other, but like, let's take down this threat together. And then it's like every expansion they do that. Everyone, they're like, you fucking bitch. And then they're like, but Sylvanas is a bitch. So then everybody's like, we got to take her out, sort of, kind of. But now she's the Horde chief. It's like a fucking whole thing, dude. It's a whole fucking thing. And it's all bullshit.
It keeps happening kind of the same way every time. Ever since like Arthas, right?
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't even try Don't fucking come in here and being like, I know about World of Warcraft. No, you fucking don't.
That's why I'm asking you.
I'm not going to explain it. It would take hours.
Wasn't that the first major period where they had a common enemy?
No, the Burning Crusade.
All right, the Burning Crusade. I forgot about that. So it's been happening since the first expansion. And then it's just been kept happening since then.
Yeah,
so it's just
except for like
so it's even
Battle
worse.
for Azeroth, I think they were more pitted against each other. But that was Sylvanas' fault.
Sylvanas,
dang it! So like there's a thing in the game where if you're on the Horde and you try to talk to somebody who's in the Alliance and back and forth, you don't understand each other.
Yeah.
In the chat.
I think they got rid of that.
Different languages. Yeah, so I was wondering if that's still in there. That'd be crazy. You can't even obviously that wouldn't make any sense. So they probably got rid of that before. But that would be funny if they still had that system and you're in there trying to communicate and they're like, I don't know. We're just gonna kill him. Is that what we gotta do?
They're speaking gibberish. We just gotta stab him. That's. I mean, that's what.
You know what?
That's history, dude.
It's true.
I don't understand you. I'm going to take your land and I'm going to kill you. What? Please don't. All right, this is for God. Here we go.
This is for God.
Dude, that's great, dude.
BTW for God, by the way. # blessed.
For the God. FTG.
No, stop. Don't do it. Huh?
Yeah, still don't understand you. Sorry. I'm going to just take this village of yours. Thank you.
Speak up there, buddy.
Sorry.
You know what? Say stop, and I'll stop.
Right. All you have to do is say the magic word that you don't know.
So, anyways, I guess we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
And then Sony was like, "Fuck you, Microsoft, taking everything I worked for. I've been out here in the trenches making exclusives. I'm gonna take one of your babies that has flown the coop."
Flown the coop.
All right.
Flown even.
Yeah.
Flown.
That's like the super past tense.
Oh, so it's like flown, but like after a decade or so.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Or 5 years. I
and
forget.
flown. Floon.
Okay.
Floon.
I see. All right.
It's kind of fun to say. Floon.
And bought fucking Bungie.
Yeah, they bought Bungie.
Mm-hmm.
And the world went, eh.
That's exactly, that was my reaction. I'm like, people have been complaining about Destiny 2 while playing it for like the last since ever Destiny 2 came out. So, yeah. Honestly, since halfway through Destiny, people have been like, I fucking hate this game. Anyways, you guys want to do the raid later? I fucking hate it. This is stupid. They got rid of my favorite gun last week, but this gun's kind of cool. But god damn it, I hate myself. But I still play this 120 hours a week. Fuck. It's just the most confusing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, no, it is interesting to see that Sony decided like, hey, we're gonna snag this.
Yeah,
don't mind us.
I'm curious as to what they plan to do with it. But they were saying that apparently they're going to be like a they own them, but they're going to be autonomous still. They're going to be like doing their own thing. They're like a parent company that it's like not going to be making like too many decisions. So I'm just curious, like what that means.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it mean anything?
Probably not. No, sorry. I thought I heard something that like one of Sony's big thing that they're going to do for Bungie is fix like one of the biggest problems they've had for a while, which is they don't have like a lot of staff, I guess. But I'm still trying to like find like the actual thing that says that. But
that would make sense then, because like maybe they can stand to really benefit from being bought, so they could have more budget to potentially get better staff or more staff to then maybe I don't know, fix the fucking game.
Well, yeah,
I'm so far removed from Destiny 2's like whole thing. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it.
Yeah, I actually don't know if it even is still broken. I guess I just
honestly I just hear like it's like balance changes most of the time, and that they
lots
keep
of microtransactions. Talk.
What was that?
Contractions.
Oh no.
Microtransactions.
Yeah. That and like they keep sunsetting like older weapons that people really like or like you work like really like guns that like you worked like on a dungeon with your friends or whatever for God knows how many hours, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do with it anymore, so we're just gonna get rid of it. Gotta make room for all the new guns.
Yeah, that's just like a shame, right? It's like, because like, as somebody who has a hard time or has had a hard time with things like looting based games, and the idea that you essentially just have to not have any attachment to anything because you're just gonna be getting a new thing like right away in a game where you have to really work for something, and then you have it and you're like, fuck yeah, this thing's cool, and then the game to be like, yeah, but like, so for various reasons you can't use it anymore.
It's gotta go.
It's gotta go. And the time you spend on it doesn't matter to us. So I can see that being frustrating for sure.
But
like, imagine
again, like you and I were side bystanders, so it's not.
Yeah,
I haven't played it. I played like I've tried to get into it like 2 or 3 times. I don't even get it. I'm just like, I don't know where I'm really supposed to go or do. I think I figured it out like once, and then I was just like, I'd rather, like, if I'm gonna just shoot stuff, I'd rather play like a single player shooting game than this thing.
I mean, Matt and I played Destiny 2
with Coulter.
With Coulter, yeah, with Coulter for a little while, and I remember one of our biggest gripes was just how empty the maps were for no fucking reason. And it felt like there was just like there was definitely a linear line you were supposed to follow, but there was these other branching paths that just didn't fucking matter, and you would just go down there thinking that there'd be something cool, and there never was. And it was always disappointing, and it was never fulfilling.
Right. Yeah.
That's just something that's the only thing I remember from that game is just being like, oh, man, we should go
Destiny 1 was way worse.
Yeah.
In that regard. I played all through Destiny 1 in preparation for Destiny 2.
Oh, no.
Destiny 1 fucking sucked.
Yeah, it's insane that we didn't play through more of Destiny 2 because of I guess it just goes to show how like non-enjoyable it was, because you went and finished Destiny 1 yourself, and then when we played Destiny 2, we didn't even like play it for that long. It's crazy.
So yeah, hopefully Sony makes it good at some point. I don't know.
Maybe this will be positive for the company as a whole. I hope for the best.
I mean, Sony do be making blockbusters left and right.
So yeah, they do pump the money into the stuff that they want to pump the money into.
Yeah,
they're like the Marvel of games.
They're kind of like the Marvel of games.
It's funny that even Marvel games, whatever. That's the joke, really. Just Marvel.
Yeah,
games.
They're bad.
That's it. Yeah. I was gonna try this thing, but you know what? It's just a lot easier just to say Marvel games. I've heard good things about Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did. I played that.
Yeah, Matt played that.
Did you?
Oh, we can talk about games we played. Yeah. Matt, you play Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, the game. How was that?
It was very good. Definitely like a 9 out of 10.
Did you do streamer mode or did you do normal mode?
I did normal mode.
Yeah, I figured.
I was by myself.
Yeah, I didn't even see
why
any
wouldn't
of the
you?
gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah, super good.
Matt played it entirely without me.
It's true.
Didn't even tell me he was gonna play the game.
It was a spur of the moment
thing. Played it, and then I found out afterwards. I think somewhere. But yeah,
that's a first. Are you okay, Spencer?
I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering even right now. I've come to terms with it. I've been playing games without Matt too, and I feel like that.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
What the fuck is going on?
We're such a team with games. We like to experience things at the same time so we can talk about it. But in this case, Matt broke. No, I'm just kidding. Like I barely care. I heard it was funny and cool. Any highlights that you can talk about without like spoiling too much or whatever, since it is kind of a new game?
I mean, the writing between like all of the people is really good.
That's like literally something that you love about games. So I can see that why you would be like, this is a good game. Like the camaraderie.
There was some camaraderie shit that happened where they would comment on things that it would just blew my mind. Like,
oh, that's sick.
Just like I'd be doing something and then they would be doing something and then they would talk about the thing that I was doing as a joke. Like I couldn't hear them. But like it was, I don't know. It was like layers deep.
That's actually really cool that they brought that level of character to the game.
Yeah, I felt like Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty ripe for like like good material, like good writing or whatever, because it's for very unique characters. Groot, I mean, I'm sure you can do something cool with Groot. Groot's fine or whatever, but yeah, it's just the movies are too short. You can't really do a whole lot. You can't have like 60 hours of fucking walking around playing. It's like, penis joke. You look like a raccoon. I take things too literally. I'm an 80s kid. You know, you can't, it's just hard.
Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, you can't do that for 60 hours. And then like, yeah, let's go fight Thanos. You gotta wrap it up in a tight 2. Max.
It's true.
And there's like a relationship system with everybody. So it's like, ooh, Raccoon appreciated the blah, 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 and then Gamora liked that, or, you know, whoever.
That's cool.
And you can affect your relationship with them.
Yeah. I mean, I think the coolest thing about
I was a great fucking leader.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. I was good.
Did you get the huddle right every time?
I did get the huddle right every time. And the very last boss fight, the last huddle I did, because there's a huddle if things are going bad.
Oh, yeah.
And you bring everybody around, and then they'll tell you, like, oh, shit's like, I don't know, they'll talk to you, and then you have to respond with the right way to pump them up.
Oh, okay.
The last one I did for the end boss, motherfucking Never Gonna Give You Up, was my final song.
Nice.
Not Kickstart Your Heart, which happened like twice.
Yeah.
The whole song list was huge too. Like, it was nuts.
Dude, I love Kickstart Your Heart.
It's a banger. Yeah. It does kickstart the heart.
It's my favorite
Motley
Crue song. I mean, it starts like the intro's so sick. Anyways, I could talk about Kickstart Your Heart for an hour. Like, actually, I did with Matt when he told me that he was playing the game. We talked about Kickstart My Heart, and then I literally went into a tirade about Motley Crue and their weird catalog of music.
Great,
and it's fucking weird, dude. You don't look at anything past like 98 from them, and it's
they didn't take the grunge era well.
No. Yeah, actually, don't look at past anything past like 94, probably, I guess, because that's when they.
Are they the ones that did Saints of Los Angeles?
Yes, they did Saints of Los Angeles. I did listen to it. I owned the CD when it came out.
Yep. It was
the last thing I bought from them.
You remember Text Tones? You remember, little rings of random songs? It was mine for a minute, but it got very annoying. All my friends made fun of me because it was just so loud, obnoxious. It was very loud and obnoxious. I'm like, no, you guys are right. I'm sorry. I fucked up. But Guardians of the Galaxy. Cool.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's always incredibly impressive when a game can like put in contextual conversations that feel almost like in the moment in response to your actions in the game.
Yeah, 100% like in the moment. Like all the time.
Yeah,
if I would go off by myself, they'd be like, oh, there goes Quill going off by himself. What are you looking for? Treasure? You're going to try to find something? And then I would go find something, and he'd be like, hey, fucking Rocket, I found some shit, and I'm not giving it to you.
So there would be a response. They would wait, and then the context would then complete.
No, they would be talking.
They would be talking. But what I'm saying is, like,
no one is ever not talking in that game.
That's awesome. God, there's
sometimes it's good. A lot of the time, they're just yelling at each other, even if they're like 2 feet away. But I think that's just how they did it.
Well, that is just games. Like, remember Days Gone? You're screaming on the bike, even though if like you're both idle. Yeah. So, anyways, Deke, stop.
Right. Anyways, I'm about to lie for no reason. I'm about to lay down the biggest lie.
Watch me be untruthful for nothing.
I have trust issues. My wife is dead. God.
Okay. Days Gone.
Deacon St. John. What a guy. What a character.
What a card.
All right. Well, that was the big one that I played. We'll circle back around to what I played.
All right.
If someone else wants to go.
Fiskate.
What have you... Well, mine's a whole fucking thing, so I don't want to get into it.
I can talk about what I played. I got a short little bit about a game that I've been playing by myself. Matt might have some input. But I've been playing Anno 1800.
That was the first Anno game you played.
What?
What was the first one?
The first one I played.
Because this dude, he's so smart. Like the amount of smart that Spencer has. is insane.
Incredibly intelligent with
and attentive to detail.
A-class problem solving, and I don't just settle. I think is really what it comes down to. So anyways, what happened was, you see, Anno is a series I'd always wanted to spend time on. Okay, I always wanted, because like I'm really into city building stuff and all these things, but me and Anno is like ships passing in the night a lot of times in my life, right? I just never quite got the game to play it, but I was always interested in the game. And so I got kind of the fix from doing stuff like Civilization or City Skylines, but and then I just wouldn't think about it for like a couple of years. And I'd be like, oh man, I should really play one of those Anno games eventually. I should get around to doing this. I've always wanted to. And then recently, I was just like, I just have time. I should just play Anno. And so I looked up the best Anno game, and it's like Anno 1800. It's fucking sick. Everyone loves it. It's so cool. The only problem is it's Ubisoft, so you got to use their launcher or whatever. And I'm like, man, I don't want to use the Ubisoft launcher. So I was thinking about it, and I talked to Matt about it. And this is, by the way, I looked this up. I'm already making excuses. I looked this up, figured all this out like a week before I even had the conversation with Matt, where I was like, man, I kind of want to do this. And Matt's just like, just fucking play the game then. Just do it, right? So what if if there's a weird launcher or whatever? It's just going to be that way. Everyone still says it's good, so just do it. And I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? I'll do it. So then I did. Kind of.
You kind of did it.
So what I did was I looked up on Steam Anno. And I remembered it was like the best it's the best one, right? It's the best recent game. So it's the best reviewed one. So in my brain, I connected it, and all the Anno games have numbers. It's not like
That's
Anno,
the
life of Dude, or Anno
Dude Strikes Back.
Journey to the New World or anything like that. It's like Anno and then year, right? And so I'm looking at it, and I see the most recent game is Anno 1404. And it's highly rated, and it's 2020. And so my brain puts together these connections, and I'm like, oh, I guess that must be the game I'm thinking about, because it's the most recent one in Steam, and it's like very positive reviews, right? So I'm like, oh, I guess I was wrong about it being 1800. It must have been 1404 or 1401. I don't even remember.
It's 1404.
Yeah, it's 1404. I must have been wrong. And so then I look at the price point. That's actually pretty cheap. It was like maybe
$15.
Yeah, it was like $15, $16. And so I bought it. I didn't research any further and purchased a different game and played it 3 nights. I played this game, and then one time at 11:30. Oh wait, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself, because there was a whole problem where you download the game. For anybody who's playing Anno 1404, when you download the game, it comes in a special version called History Edition, where you start out as Anno 1404 Venice, right? But you can't do that unless you've actually played the game before, because it's not the original version of the game. It does not include the tutorial. It does not include the original campaign. It is new scenarios that people who have already played the game will enjoy. You have to start it in no mods or no add-ons mode, right? And it asks you right in the beginning. I didn't know that, so I do some troubleshooting. So the first night, I troubleshooted the wrong game to find out how I can play to do the tutorial, because again, I hadn't really experienced an Anno game, but had always kind of looked at it from afar. Right, so then I'm playing this game for what is essentially 3 nights, and then Matt.
When Spencer's telling me about this, I'm like, this doesn't sound like the game Northern Lion played.
Because Matt had watched a video about it that Northern Lion played.
Oh.
And I was like, it had a pretty good tutorial.
That's all about my problems with the tutorial.
It had he's like talking about gameplay shit. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't line up, and
I'm like, you're playing it on Steam.
I'm playing it on Steam. Which, okay, but there's another thing, though, because it still had to download the Ubisoft launcher, except it was able to launch through Steam, and it would kind of load it through Ubisoft kind of in the background a little bit. It was like, it still had to download the Ubisoft stuff. It still had to connect through their servers or whatever. And even now, I have Ubisoft Connect on my computer, and it shows up in my list of games with Ubisoft, right? But you can still play it through Steam, because it was kind of before they started
It's kind of the same thing with Game Pass and EA. They have EA
everything.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same type of thing.
Pass through EA. desktop app. But yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So 3 nights of playing the wrong game.
Yeah, and then at 11, I think it was 12:30 one night, 12:30 at night, I'm playing the game. Matt texts me. Should I read the text?
I mean, sure.
Motherfucker, you're playing the wrong game. Is that?
No, it's even better than that, dude. There's some respect given first before, but it was like checking just to be sure before he's essentially able to then
be angry.
Yeah, be angry at this. So wait, I'm getting there. Oh, here he goes. Which Anno are you playing? That's it. And I'm like, 1404. The real newest one is 1800. I reply, shit, you're right. And Matt's like, 1404 is a weird remaster. Still not mad. Well, he probably was. I'm like, wait, why doesn't it come up in Steam?
No, that's when I got mad. I remember distinctly being like, this fucking guy. We talk about games. We
have a podcast and we've done this shit.
Like, we talked about Ubisoft.
We did.
Like, I had to, I don't know, sell Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
You were like, no, just do it, man. Just, and like you can just get the thing or whatever. And so then he's like, it's only on Ubisoft. One message. Second message right afterwards. How were you asking about Uplay when you weren't even buying anything from Uplay? And so then I tried to explain myself. And I'm like, I totally got mixed up. So I looked up Anno stuff separately and saw things about Uplay and Reddit posts, and then I looked at the game up a few days later and got it mixed up with blah, 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 exactly what I explained here. And Matt sends back a message that he never sends. And it's just 4 dots.
Oh, shit.
Disappointment. Disappointment at what is almost 1 a.m. Neither of us are usually up this late on a weeknight. And then I continue. When desperate. When I downloaded it, it still did some of the Uplay shenanigans, but it wasn't anything at all. And so then I went out to play the game, lol. And Matt's like, yeah, no shit. When you buy games from like Ubisoft or EA, they open up their launchers. like, nah, fucking idiot, Man. And I'm over here like in damage control mode, right? And I'm like, man, I just blah blah, insert reason here, insert context there. It didn't matter. I should have looked it up.
I was about to say it's usually just a lot easier to say I fucked up.
I did eventually, but that was mad. Rightfully frustrated at my what was essentially laziness. I just could have looked it up, and I just didn't, and then accepted that what I was playing was good, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the game."
It was the whole situation was very funny in a sad way.
And that's like it's 2022. Not everything is on Steam,
right?
And then I'm like, yeah, I know. It's just funny that I assumed I had it wrong, and then I got it wrong.
You assumed you had it wrong.
And then I got it wrong.
Great. Yeah.
Because I thought that maybe I was wrong about the name of the game. But I was right. But then because I assumed I was wrong, then I became wrong. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It was just so
wrong.
Many things that I didn't realize could go wrong before I could stop him from buying 1404. Right. He asked me about Uplay. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, obviously he'll buy the right one. It's not even like a concern that I had until it popped up on Steam and it's like Anno 1404. Yeah. And I hover over it and it's like, Spencer's been playing this. I was like, that's weird. That's weird. That's odd.
Going Columbo mode.
And so then Matt literally sent me a message saying that exact thing. I saw it on Steam and it said you owned it. So I knew the newer one was 1800 and a Uplay exclusive. So I figured you missed something in your research and put quotes around it.
Mm-hmm. That message went through a lot of different variations.
Yeah, Matt
of
didn't
niceness
respond for a while.
because I was like, don't be. Why are you this mad about it? It doesn't matter. It was $15. Like, it's not even your money. Who cares? And I was like, it's the fucking principle. Left brain, right brain is like, fuck you, fucking idiot. How could you do this? And it's like, he didn't even slice you. It doesn't even matter. Who cares? And I'm like, fucking Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. Just be fucking passive aggressive. I don't know. Meet in the middle.
And this entire time, you guys are like, what? 15 feet away, 20 feet away. I don't know where your rooms are at. But...
It's we have a long house, and we're on either end of the house. It's a bit further.
Okay, so it's not as easy as like walking across the hall and being like, "You're a fucking idiot," and then closing.
No. You got to walk through the living room, the kitchen, past the bathroom, past the laundry machines to get to my room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where do you live in the garage?
No, I live in what is essentially the original house that includes the bathroom part. I think the kitchen, laundry area, bathroom in my room, and then the part that Matt is in, where the actual living room is, and his room is like part of an addition that was done later. The original house is made in like the 1940s.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Fun little house fact. All right.
Yeah. I think this house used to be like a really small like shotgun house. You ever heard of that before, where you can go through the front door and then see to the back door from it, and it's just a long house?
I've never heard of that, but I've like seen houses.
I think the joke is that you could shoot through the front door and hit somebody out the back door.
Probably
because of the way it's designed.
Sense.
Yeah, but
I doubt it's because it looks like a shotgun or something. So
no, that would be cool though.
That would be really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the barrel.
I live in the barrel. I'm in the stock actually, and it's pretty spacious. It's got a lot of room. It's a weird shape, but you know what? I kind of like it.
Don't talk to those guys on the trigger. Oh, they're fucking pissed all the time. Oh my god. So you played Anno 1404 for 3 nights, and then you started playing Anno 1800,
it was so much better, dude.
Good. Okay.
It's like really good. I have 16 hours in it, and I just started like a week and a half ago. And this is just playing like at night, right? Like I'm not playing throughout the day or anything because obviously I'm working or whatever. So I have like 3 hours a night that I can play, kind of, unless it's the weekend. And it's awesome. It's so good. Like, it's really much better than I expected it to be. I was like, oh, I'll probably like this. I like Banished. I like City Skylines. We have a video that I made giving tips about City Skylines that has over 10,000 views. You know?
Oh, shit.
You could say I'm a professional.
You could say that I know these things. I'm generally good at managing games, even though I am terrible at managing myself. I don't know what that is, but hey, it's fun.
You can't be good at everything. You know, some things just don't overlap.
Right. Apparently, when it's gamified, it's more interesting to me. But
well, that's just
unless it's buying the right game.
Well, no, there has to be a separate game.
You gotta get in the game, and then I'm good. When there's like a confined series of rules and systems in place. But no, it's really good. So I won't go too long about it because like we've already had such a long time telling the beautiful story of events that brought us to this point. But essentially, it's a city builder, but it's like way beyond a city builder. So Anno 1800 takes place just before the Industrial Revolution. So you're playing during what is essentially the tail end of a colonial era, but you're still doing colonial era stuff. And then you're building into industrialization. So you're getting, you're discovering oil, and I'm just getting to the point where we're using oil and, sourcing gold and stuff like that in the New World. And in the campaign, the storyline, it's like one of the best campaigns of any city builder or RTS type game I've ever like. It's so seamless because it's like you're playing the sandbox of the game. But there's these like events that just kind of come in and then leave. And then you're just like, okay, now I'm just building my city again. And then like an NPC will come to you and be like, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to destroy this frigate of my enemy or of these pirates or whatever. And so you're like, I'm gonna get my ship of the line and go out there and destroy that frigate, Or you can send this guy will come to you with like expeditions, and you can take a ship. And you decide what's on, like the cargo on the ship with what you have, and you hit certain points or whatever, and then you go on this expedition, and it's like multi-step. You're like playing the game, building up your city, putting down houses, and like, I gotta worry about my sheeps and make more worker uniforms, otherwise I can't expand, and all this stuff. And then in between all of that, you'll get like this report like, hey, something's happened with the expedition, and you'll go into the expedition and they'll be like, hey, so turns out, and there's just like there's like 5 mini storylines happening as you're playing the game, so you have to kind of like, okay, which expedition is this? And there's one where you're trying to find like your queen. She like went missing, and so you're like in the new world looking for her in all these crazy towns because she just kind of like fled or whatever. And so you're trying to track her down, and so you're like asking people for information, and you're making choices, and your choices have different percentages to be successful based on the cargo and the decisions you made for the ship in the beginning of the expedition. So because you brought cigars, apparently it makes it easier to be more sociable in the town that you're visiting, to ask. You can use the cigars as like a bargaining chip to get information about the location of the queen. Like stuff like that's happening, right? And then you just continue on, and you're like, hey, you got to continue. But like these things lower morale, or you're on this expedition for a long time. Do you want to make a special decision to give extra rations to make up for that? And like all these decisions you have to make, and it's just really cool. It's like it's just this cool event that's happening, and then you go back to what you're doing, where you're like, I have to make a new village on this new island because I need access to sugar, and it's just I don't know. It's so engaging. Like entirely, like you'd think a city builder is usually, once you get to a certain point, it's just managing the existing thing and getting to the next step. Like, okay, I've unlocked stadiums or some shit, or I can now build an airport or whatever. But this is so much more than that, because it's not all based in one town. You have your starting village, and then you can expand. It's heavily like ship based, and so you can expand to like another island. And now you're building a town there because it has access. It has the fertility available to grow hops, so you can make beer for your workers. And so now you have to create a trade system to move your beer production to your main town, so your workers in your main town have beer, which makes them happy, which allows you to then turn them into artisans later on. And it's just like all these things play into each other, and it's just really cool. It's just a lot of fun.
Which is really cool. I was wondering, because I always see Anno, and it always has like a ship on it, so I was wondering why that was a huge deal. But apparently that's because you get to swim everywhere, or whatever boats do.
It's like I went into this thinking that it was mostly like just like a regular city builder, where it's mostly peaceful. Usually these types of games, you're just building your thing, and your conflict is efficiency. Yeah, your conflict is efficiency, or do I have enough resources? Did I design the way my city is like flowing well enough to make up for the people that live there, so they can get to their jobs efficiently? It's all about that, right? And here it's like there is stuff like that. People have to be within a certain distance from a pub, otherwise they're not fulfilled. They're not happy. They're not happy because it's too far to go to the pub. Like stuff like that is still a thing. But then you have all these NPCs that just exist, and they're just doing their own thing. They're also settling different islands, and when they get to a new area, because of the storyline in the storyline, you are working for the queen, right? And so sometimes they'll ask you, be like, "Hey, can I settle on this island?" Right? And if you say yes, then they're like, "Oh, thanks," and then your relationship with this NPC gets better. And I just realized just today that I should just say no, because I can still make the amount that it hurts them, at least for a little while, is so little that you can make up for it by doing something else, and that way they don't settle the islands before I can. That was like an optimization that I made recently with myself, because now there's 3 areas that have like 3 maps. You have the old world, the new world, and then this whole other map that just opened up. It's like Trelawney, which is like, now the queen's like, hey, you need to build up this city now that you found me, and
it turns out Queen was in this castle.
yeah, and you have to build it up for her or whatever, and that all things happening. But the way the NPCs interact is they'll have their own wars. They'll like fight over shit. They'll take over each other's ports and stuff like that. And as long as you're like staying cool with them, then nothing ever really happens to you. I have an alliance with a guy, and he's brought me in on a war with a guy I've already been at war with. I just fucking destroy this dude at any chance I get. Like, I just have my ships to the line, or any of my ships making like trades and deliveries and stuff like that to my different islands. And I just have them shoot on sight, and I haven't lost. I just destroy them. I think my military is one of the best in the area. It's not the best. I just don't pick a fight with the people who are better than me. And
well,
then
I mean, that's you gotta pick your battles. That's just how war works,
Yeah, it's just crazy because like the storyline doesn't depend on you doing well necessarily. It just depends on you hitting certain points and completing like little quests that you get. But you could be like in a shit state. You could decide to let everybody just settle on every island and not optimize at all and not have access to certain resources. And then you can choose, okay, then I'll just buy these resources from these people or whatever. But the game doesn't make that a requirement for you to move forward in the story. There's just other stuff happening. There, you're like, oh, build this city. But there's no real rules about how you build it except for hitting like specific milestones. Everything else you can just do yourself. The design of it is yourself. As long as you build the thing somewhere, it doesn't matter. It's all like in your hands. And it's just, I don't know. Right. It's definitely the most engaging and like fun city builder that I've played that still scratches the management itch like really well.
So it's just like it's more like an active management game than like
it's really
kind of passive
active
one.
Yeah, you can like build ships and fight people, and it's a management game. Like that's cool.
Because Banish, like most of those games have events, but it's usually just like a tornado went through and destroyed some stuff.
Yeah,
fix it up, or I don't know. Banish was like your people are dying all the time. That's just
it's
Banish.
like, do you have enough food to help them survive? Also, it's really cold. Make sure you have enough stores over the winter. If you don't have stores over the winter, people die. Also, you got to make enough clothing and have enough coal, otherwise they get cold. It's like that thing. Or like with Frostpunk, it's the same thing there, except way more extreme. The management there is like super extreme management for Frostpunk, but and the game's multiplayer. They have a whole NPC system. Yeah, and you could just have the NPCs be people.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, if they're just
and so
if they're just existing in the world, doing the same things that you can do.
And so then, in that aspect, it's also a little bit like Civilization, where because you're moving forward in time as you unlock more technology, and then you can have other players move forward in time with you, maybe at slightly different speeds. But it's more granular. It's like instead of moving forward in centuries, you're moving forward in like single years or months.
Yeah.
But but yeah, and then it's still like gamified in a way that it doesn't make it too crazy. So
nice.
it's actually really fun. And the game is incredibly expensive to get everything you want, or you can just pay $15 a month and get all of the DLC, and everything's just unlocked for you, and it doesn't matter.
Ubisoft Plus?
Is that like your Uplay?
Yeah,
okay.
Ubisoft Plus.
Got it.
So along with everything else you get, which I'm not
there's like
an
Anno platform or something.
Yeah, but I just didn't want to spend over $100 to play the game when I could just play it right now for like $15.
Especially since you just burned $15 on 1404.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend it. It's awesome. It's a great game.
If I was any good at those games, I would probably pick it up. But I
don't think you need to be that good, man.
Agree to disagree. That's fine.
I mean,
I just don't think my brain.
Yeah,
I just don't think my brain works that way. I don't know. I've always had a hard time with management games. I think they're fun. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Oh, everybody's dead. What did I forget to do? I forgot to get enough leather for the coat so they don't freeze to death. Okay, cool. Well, let's just start it over again. Oh, now I didn't get enough food for them because there's too many workers.
I was trying to kill all the damn cows to get the leather.
I never harvested the meat.
They just left the meat out there to rot like idiots.
Yep,
I forgot to click the active gathering tab or switch on the worker tab of the menu of the UI. That's my bad. Hold on. That's me.
That's not a thing in this game. It's all automatic, dude. Just put them near a warehouse and all the shit's done for you.
A likely story. I'll fucking believe it when I see
No,
it.
it's possible to mess up. I almost got to a point where I didn't have enough money to move forward. I was in the negative. And then I realized, oh wait, they have built in ways for you to save yourself. Because once I got to the point, I was able to make ships, but I wasn't making ships because it cost too much to have them.
See, this is the difference between me and Spencer. He goes, "Oh, the game built in a way to save you." I would have been like, and then I realized I was a fucking god at these types of games and clawed my way back.
Right. Yeah.
It felt pretty cool to figure it out, right? Because I was like,
it's just a different way we tell stories.
Like I wasn't making enough money.
I make myself look really good at all times.
You embellish a little bit.
I wasn't making enough money off of because like the way the economy works is you tax your people, right? And so the amount you tax your people, and also the amount that you
whoa, what's tax? What's economy? Slow down. What the fuck?
You don't make any decisions with that. It's a straight system. It's just you make an amount per person based on how much they're enjoying themselves and how much they use. And then you can also make money out of doing trade with people. And so the more people come by and buy stuff, the more money you make, right? So I was just in the negative for that because I hadn't quite hit like a stride. And I realized there's a guy that's always just perpetually friends with you in the beginning that you can just make a ship and sell it to him to get quick cash. And so I had enough sales and like stuff because I wasn't making my own ships because I couldn't afford to keep the upkeep for them. So I would just make money and then burn it until I had a good enough like thing going where I was just making my own. And now I have such a surplus. I got an achievement for having too much money. I'm floating 100K right now, and it was ridiculous. Ooh. I could just spend so much, and I could never run out now. Like I'm making like 4,000 a month. It's just so much money. I don't even know what to do with myself. I made a whole.
Oh, he's Bobby Kotick money.
I made a whole.
Well, 100,000 and what 1,800 money.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, that's like times 25 for inflation. I recently.
I think I do have Bobby Kotick money.
Yeah, so you got some money. You got 25 million, I believe. Or no, it'd be
25 billion?
No, is it?
250,000?
Times 10,000 is 25 million. No, it's 250,000.
So you said you have 100K and 1880, right?
Yeah.
You have 100K. Okay.
Yeah.
100K times 25. I think it's 2 million something. No, it's. Why is this so hard for three men in their fucking 30s? 2,500,000.
Yeah, 2,500,000. Yeah,
that was.
I thought it was something
guess.
stupid.
But yeah, it's a lot.
I was like,
of money.
It has to be millions. Yeah,
it's so much money that I took. I went and settled a new village and turned it into a port town in 30 minutes, which took me like 4 hours for my first city. Because I could just throw money at the problem. I didn't have enough resources, but I could just have a ship take it there from my other place. Like
right, yeah.
I could just supplement all of it and just build.
Money solves a lot of problems.
But anyways, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I would say if you ever have another reason to get Ubisoft Plus or whatever, then definitely try it out if you already have the service. Or I'm not, it's not everyone's bag for sure, but it definitely totally like surprised me with how much you can do and how much the game is that I just didn't expect.
This podcast is brought to you by Uplay. That's right. Get Uplay on all your favorite computer.
That's why I said if you're already getting it for other stuff, then definitely just try this game.
I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah, so that's my game. So Fitzcake, your turn.
So I was sick last week. I didn't have COVID. We got those at-home tests or whatever, and I was negative twice. So I just had the regular flu, which just sucks. So first day I just spent like the entire day sleeping. And then the second day I was like, well, I want to do something. I have Pathfinder Kingmaker, so let me check it out. I'm listening to podcasts and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I hear somebody talk about Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous while I'm playing Pathfinder Kingmaker, trying to figure it out. And the little bit I played is pretty good. I was like, okay, this is fun. I don't know what the fuck's going on or whatever. But whatever, I'm playing a little bit. And then they talk about Wrath of the Righteous. And like the cool thing about Wrath of the Righteous, one, it's like a direct sequel to Kingmaker, I think, if I remember right. Or it's like in the same Pathfinder universe thing. Is that they have mythic classes, which is basically like has nothing to do with what your actual character class is. It's just like an end game goal. Like you can be a dragon, you can be like a lich lord, which if you turn into a lich lord, like basically changes how the whole campaign becomes, because like most of your party leaves, and you mostly just use dead people as your helpers and whatnot. Um, and there's like 8 versions of them that's like for all kinds of crazy Pathfinder stuff. So I'm like, oh, well, I don't even care about being a king, so I'll try, Wrath of the Righteous out a little bit. And I'm trying it out. I'm not good at Pathfinder because I've only played it like one time,
Right.
and I don't really know how to make characters. So it's like fighter, fight, and fight. I was like,
Nice.
and I played it for a little bit, and it was fine. I was just like I wasn't really good at the fights. Like my character was bad compared to everybody else. And I was like, what the fuck? How can you fuck up fighters? I don't quite get it.
Right.
And so I'm like playing for like an hour or two, which is like barely past the fucking tutorial with these games.
And then you
And
realize you bought the wrong game and you're playing Baldur's Gate.
yeah, that's exactly what. No, that was a crazy part. I was like, oh my god, this game's from 20 years ago or whatever. But
Holy shit!
Damn it! But no, like then I heard like there was going to be a patch coming out really soon that was going to change like a lot of how the game works. Like there's like over 300 changes and fixes and whatnot.
That's crazy.
I'm like, I just learned how to fucking do this version of the game. So I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. I'm going to go back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I'm going to look up how to make characters or how to make a character, like look up builds. And I don't understand what the fuck they're saying in like half of these builds. Like I'm trying to pull up a thing here while I'm talking about it, but they like I can gather what they're actually saying, but like they use weird fucking jargon that I don't quite understand. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward. So whatever. So anyway, so I look it up. And they're like, oh, while you're here, here's like our most recommended mods and stuff too, because apparently another difference between the two games, Wrath of the Righteous, when you use a buff, it's just like time based, like IRL time, not like in game time.
Oh,
because like in game time, it's more akin to like the tabletop version of it. Like, oh, you use this level, you use a plus, it gives your party +1 AC for 24 hours, and then you have to do a short rest to get it back or whatever.
right.
And Wrath of the Righteous is just like, okay, this happens for 20 minutes of of your time, and then you get it back whenever you rest. Whereas Pathfinder Kingmaker, it's more closer to it is the table. I mean, they're both a tabletop game, but this is like almost the purest form of the tabletop game. And
Right.
so what it does, it'd be like, okay, yeah, you got it for like you got this really vital buff that you need to do every time you start a fight, but it only lasts for 5 minutes, and then you have to use a short rest um to get it back. So it's like you'd fight like 2 or 3 things, like you fight a fight, and they're like, okay, well, I had to make camp, I have to rest for like fucking 12 hours, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go fight the next group. So they're just like, yeah, download this thing where it makes the buffs way longer. You don't have to rest as often and whatnot.
It seems like a quality of life type thing where, yeah.
Man, it feels like this is for people. I feel like this is for the min-maxers. I mean, that's the people who make these guides and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it literally does feel like, okay, you've played Pathfinder with your friends before, but what if they weren't holding you back? And what if you could make the most badass character ever? What if you could make a guy that just fucking destroys everything? Like, for my build, it's called the Eldor Investigator, which I liked it because it's like a tank damage dealer, but also has like role playing skills like persuasion and stuff.
That's cool.
There's this whole guy, like the final level of this thing is 9 levels in some fighter class, 9 levels in an alchemist class, and 4 levels in a rogue class. Like I would have never thought to do that, but this is not even me talking about like the many times of both Wrath of the Righteous and Kingmaker that I'm like, I made a character. I tried it out for 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, okay, I don't like it. Try it again. Blah 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 blah. And then I did it with the build guide too.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I have gleaned from all this is that a lot of people like to take like 1 or 2 levels from monk, so they can get the crane style fighter or monk. They both have it, I think, which is improved defense / crane style. Which you just, I guess that's very vital.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things that like you take -2 attack rolls and for +2 AC or some shit like that, which is handy. But it's just like I would have never thought about that on my own to
Just to
oh
dip
yeah, I
in a
know
month just for that.
yeah, just like oh monk has this one thing, because Pathfinder has like they have like the base types. You have like fighter, alchemist, mage, whatever. But then like most of them have like 4 or 5 subclasses.
Oh yeah.
And they all have different shit, and they're all different. It's like, what the I have not. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, Pathfinder and D&D have that, that whole like culture of there's an entire subgroup of people that's what they do. They just like find a way in somewhere in the rules to make the most broken thing possible, and and that's just in the tabletop. So yeah, like what you were saying, I can't imagine, taking that and then ramping it up for a game like that. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to do it for the. I mean, if you're playing the harder modes or whatever, I'm playing normal mode, which is still like easier than the actual tabletop game. Which I guess they probably do that because if you're like playing with a DM, the DM is nice to you sometimes. Like they feel emotion and feel bad for you. Whereas a computer is like, no, you got critical hit twice. You're fucking dead, and yeah, your party's dead too. And God came in here because he wrote a critical fail and he stomped on everybody. Sorry,
like their souls are obliterated.
Yeah, sorry, you can't even load the game anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know
uninstalled the game for you. Get out of here.
We did it for you. You're not ready to play Pathfinder, you little bitch. but so like normal mode, it's like enemies are at 0.80 or like they're at like 80% strength. You can't critical hits don't hurt you as much. Just stuff to kind of like make it a little bit easier for people. But hard mode's like there's like permadeath mode, yada yada yada. So finally, I'm into the Kingmaker, and I'm finally playing the game. And I get to my other characters, and I'm like, okay, well, in Wrath of the Righteous, you can choose them to like auto level up, and they just do whatever. In this, you either choose auto level up for everybody, or you level up everybody. And there's no in between. You can't like level yourself up and then auto level everybody else like in Wrath of the Righteous. So I had to look up fucking build guides for my current 4 companions, and I know I'm going to get more because there's like you can have up to 7 at a time, 6 or 7. So it's just like I'm reading through all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even. but after getting all the guides, getting everything, I'm actually enjoying the game. It's a lot of fun when you take the min-maxing brain part of it out. It's just like a fun RPG game to play. Like when everything works fine and you don't have to, like the fuck, who do I dip into? Do I dip into Alchemist to get the critical attack bonus of the whatever, or do I have to dip into Monk and get that crane style? Do I do that now, or do I do that from 3 levels from now? Should I just level up the fighter part? But no, they just do it for you. It's like you do this character or you do this class, you take this, move on. You just follow the guide. And so really, this podcast is brought to you by neoseeker.com. Neoseeker, home of all the Pathfinder guides.
Yeah, dude, I've used that website for shit before.
Yeah. I wonder, does it have like a divinity thing? Because I'm sure there's divinity shit like build guides.
That might have been it too. Yeah, I don't know. Well, like I've definitely used that website for multiple games. Because it's just like I need a guy for something because I'm always looking up guys for shit, and I don't have set websites I go to anymore. I just grab whatever, and then as long as it doesn't have a bad UI, I just use it. But I've definitely used Neoseeker before.
Yeah, I used Neoseeker for called Steel.
Mm.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's like the only like I just did type in like whatever builds, and Neo Seeker was the only one that always showed up.
Nice.
Let me. Yeah, no, okay. I think it's Wrath of the Righteous that has like all the weird fucking jargon. It's like you dip into this to get I think it was like literally goop or something that started with a G, clearance or some shit. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I appreciate the work that these min maxers do, but I have no idea what the fuck they're saying. But
Right.
all I have to do is read like the keywords and the numbers, and we're good.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely a part of
highly
role-playing.
recommend.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that's definitely a part of role playing that I never, really experienced that much. The only time I've ever even taken a secondary class was playing the Star Wars role playing game, because they had a prestige class where you could become a bounty hunter, but you had to like mix two classes together to do it or something like that. So that's the only time I ever really did it, was because they had like kind of a built-in road for it. But I never did any of that, and it's crazy where like you're playing the game and it's like, yeah, this is the best way to do it, is you gotta just like mix it up. You can't just do just fighter and be good.
I don't. Yeah, like I think you can be I think you can be okay with like just going like one class, but I've looked through like all of these, and I don't think there is a single one. There's like one that you take like 17 levels of something, but you still.
Whoa, that's a commitment, dude.
You still dip into monk, and you dip 2 into fighter, from what I can tell.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well, you got to. You gotta get monk for that crane style, you know.
You have to. You have to. This one has like 4 classes. This one has This one has 5. Okay, whatever. So yeah, definitely recommend Pathfinder. It's a lot of fun so far. Been really enjoying my spare time with it while I was snotting out of all my like 50 buckets of snot just coming out of my face at all times. It was gross. And then yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else to say. It was just a whole fucking journey just to play a fucking game. Just to play a game and enjoy it. Well, not enjoy it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's something for everybody if you're willing to dig in and like do the research or whatever.
Right.
Or if you're just a psychopath Pathfinder player and you're like, yeah, I know what to do. I know how to make this baby talk. Oh yeah, get that crane style.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some games that are just much better because of the community and like people who are willing to do stuff like make guides and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just like Minecraft, right? Is like that.
Oh yeah,
I would say Dark Souls in some ways is kind of like that too, like being able to have stuff you can look up.
Yep. I know something about that. Segue. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh
boom,
shit.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh my god.
What have you been doing recently, Matt?
I'm kind of ashamed.
Oh no.
Matt's made a gaming lifestyle change recently. A whole new genre.
Yeah, a whole new genre. I've been playing a lot of idle games. And let me tell you, want to talk about guides and spreadsheets and fucking math? Boy.
Oh yeah, that's all idle games are.
Yeah. So I've been doing that for like a month.
What idle games?
A lot.
Yeah, like a lot.
Like 3 games at once.
3 games at once.
Well, idle games are perfect for that. I've been playing idle games on my phone on and off for like 5 years now, so I totally get it. Yeah.
What did I start with? I think I started with Cookie Clicker, and I like Cookie Clicker because I saw it on sale, and I was like, I don't know, fuck it.
Yeah.
What is the draw here? Like everybody's like, oh, it's Cookie Clicker. I was like, I never got these games. Like I never quantified them in my head. I was like, you just fucking click. Like that's the whole game. I was like, why do people like this?
This is crazy because I have the continuity, right, in my brain. I have the continuity of and I have distinct memories of both Matt and I shit-talking Cookie Clicker when it first came out because it's such like a not game. It's like not a game. like when it first was like a browser game.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, like years later, to come back around and be like, actually,
it's pretty dope because you don't actually click that much. You just automate all of it, and then like
clicking's the beginning.
Like some eldritch shit happens, and like the game totally changes, and
like super dystopian, right?
Yeah. So I played that. Can you guess how many hours I put in the cookie clicker?
Like you add the cookie clicker, I don't know, like 20.
147.
Well, I was close. I was pretty close. I was pretty close.
And that's my lowest idle one.
It's the lowest one.
Oh, that's your lowest one.
You started this a month ago.
Are you like running these games in the background?
Like oh no, okay. Well, before we get to that, I just want to say I feel like Skyrim and Fallout mod scene stuff prepared you for this.
Yeah, and modded Minecraft.
And modded Minecraft was like kind of the beginning of this era.
Because I've realized that these idle games are literally, they're like, here's a fucking problem, solve it. And I'm like, oh shit, I love doing that. I love solving problems.
So it's like,
and I was like, oh shit, all right. And then it's like the Minecraft thing where it's like, all right, I connect this shit over here. Don't nobody talk to me. All right, I'm fucking reading this like in-depth how to make a nuclear fission reactor.
Which we did. That was pretty sick, dude. That was pretty sick. And I would not have been able to do it unless Matt told me how to do it.
So there's Cookie Clicker. While playing Cookie Clicker, I was also playing Leaf Blower Revolution, which I think out of the three main ones I've been playing is the best one.
It's pretty crazy.
But can you guess how many hours I put into this one?
And it's more than Cookie Clicker. At least 200?
293.
Oh, so practically 300. Okay.
Practically 300.
Yeah.
All right.
And that one's fun because it's like I play these all pretty actively.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're like, oh, are you just leaving it on? Nah, man. He's like interfacing with the game when things are supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
Actively playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 3 game tabs open at all times.
Yeah. So that one's pretty active. You like do the stuff and then like a lot of automation, which I like. And it's kind of like a neat, kind of whimsical story. It's not dystopian like a lot of the cookie or a lot of the idle ones are.
Well, tell me about, because like I think one of the coolest things about Leaf Blower Simulator that you, or the Leaf Blower Revolution that you were telling me about is how it has alternate things you can do. Like you can step away from like the current thing and like
where you can go and like fight in a tower, and you can do like, you don't have to just grind specific things. You can grind other things. Which is fun because you're like, I don't want to do this specific.
You're fighting towers in Leaf Blower Revolution?
Well, you're blowing leaves at enemies.
Oh, you're fighting enemies with leaves.
Yeah.
And
but that's only later.
That's just a part of the game.
Yeah, that's like, you know.
Also, it does probably start like a leaf blower like company, and then you're actually
no,
because like
you never have a company.
Guy.
Yeah, you're just a dude who goes through like space and the void, and you fight a witch. And
tell me about how every time you go to a new place, the names of the leaves that you're blowing changes.
Yeah, you have a bunch of different leaves. You have like
you got
obsidian
quantified.
Leaves,
yeah,
and the space leaves. But can you guess the name of the space leaves? It's not space leaves, but it's very spacey. Spencer got this wrong. He said space leaves like an idiot.
I said star leaves, I think.
No, you said meteorites.
Oh, I said, because I thought that maybe the version of leaves that would be in space would be like meteors or like asteroids or something like that. That I was trying to, I was thinking too much about it, I guess.
Yeah, I would have said star leaves or something like that, anyways.
Cosmic leaves.
Cosmic, damn it! The other.
That's what I did.
The other space thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it.
But yeah, there's obsidian
that's usually how
leaves.
those idle games work out. Is that like start off very, very small, and because like it's all exponential, it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, you're fighting, you're doing taxes for God. It's like you're doing your CPA for like your neighbor or your cousin or some shit. And then like level 90, 99, 99, 99, 99 is, hey God, you forgot to put this in your expenses. I got it for you. I got a team. Actually, I got a team of guys working on it for you. I'm not even doing anything anymore. I'm
Mhm.
just managing all this stuff.
I'm just blowing
I'm
these fucking death leaves around.
Yeah, I'm clicking the stuff that pops up that gives me like a bonus or whatever. But other than that, I'm not really doing anything. So
Yeah.
And you can also own like a little cafe too, right?
No, you go and visit a cheese bar,
I'm sorry.
and
Oh.
you can play a crane game, which I'm a fucking god at.
Nice.
And you can play the slot machine. And
Mm.
Nice.
I was pretty good at that, but there's not much you can do about that.
No strats there.
It's just crazy to me that there's mini games and also alternate modes kind of inside of what you would think is kind of one big mini game, but it's not. It's like more than that, but it's just hard to explain.
Yeah. Well, there's the leaf tower, and then there's also the pyramid.
I can't forget the pyramid, dude.
Which is kind of similar to the leaf tower where you fight things, but like it's different. Where
it's Egyptian things.
Yeah. And
what are the leaves called?
Sand leaves.
Sand leaves. Okay.
Yeah. Sand leaves. Nice. Beautiful.
And there's like it was nutty. It was a lot of fun. But I'm pretty much done with that one. I pretty much 100% it. I did 100% the achievements.
Nice. Okay. What's your number one idle game then?
It is called NGU Idle. Numbers go up. Idle.
Oh, I've never even heard of that one. I don't do a lot of desktop ones, but that sounds pretty cool.
Can you guess how many hours this one has?
It's more than the other two, I would assume.
Yeah.
400.
422. It is my most played game on Steam.
I want to say I'm surprised, but like, how much time did you spend on the Skyrim modded stuff and the Fallout modded stuff again? Like hundreds of hours?
Hundreds of hours.
Yeah. So with a game that's even like less work to get into and like more to get out of, well, not more to get out of, but like,
more time to spend the game.
Like a game, you don't have to install a mod list to play NGU. Yeah, that makes sense.
And those games are literally like 300 gigabytes.
Yeah. Also that.
Yeah. That's actually crazy because like if you look at Skyrim, special edition, you have less than 300 hours on record, right? But that's hours just in the game. That's not counting all of the massive amount of hours you do downloading the stuff, changing out the mod list, or researching mod list stuff. And I mean, it's easier now because of
Wabbajack.
Yeah, Wabbajack. But even then, you still put time in outside of the game to do things, But with this, you start it up and you go, and you're talking about guides. This is kind of all segued from the guides.
Yeah, I had to look up a lot of guides to do a lot of shit, and the NGU Idle is pretty fucking nutty because it's just literally like numbers go up, but there's so much shit that you have to do.
There's so many numbers.
Like, there's like the main game where you fight bosses, and then you have your like attack and defense, and then those go up, and then you have things that affect them, and then there's this another game where you go on an adventure. That's what they call it, but really you fight other bosses and fight other things to make your adventure thing and get gear, which affect your other shit, and then and in that mode you have to fight titans to continue to unlock other stuff.
Better gear, right? Usually.
Yeah, and well, they unlock those big bulletin things.
The stat bonuses. Or...
No, like Yggdrasil and stuff like that.
Oh, those things on the side.
Yeah.
That's what that's. Yeah, there's all these like I don't know what they're called. They're like entities or like kind of.
They're just things that affect your numbers.
Yeah, and so like you unlock
make the numbers go up.
Yeah, like the world tree, Yggdrasil, and then there's like a set of processes that make that They have to interface with to make that better. And Matt has like you have like I don't know 15 or like a bunch of those like different things that you've unlocked that affect your numbers in some weird way that you have to then learn a little system for.
Yep.
Each one. And I was asking Matt, I'm like, man, you have so many hours in this game. I mean, are you close to being done with it? And you were telling me like,
no, I'm like 20%.
Only 20% done with the game after
like,
400 hours.
I'm honestly surprised that. Well, I think some of the desktop ones do end, but like a lot of them are designed to kind of just keep you. I mean, maybe that's just a phone thing, but yeah, no, they either take a ridiculous amount of time to actually quote unquote finish, or they just never really finish it, and they just keep adding more shit to it.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about this to me is like I always viewed them like that, where it was like, yeah, things go up and it gets kind of crazier, but then it just keeps going, right? It after a certain point in my mind, it was always just like, yeah, and then the numbers just get bigger, and then you know the fun of the game is just how big the numbers are, right? But the way Matt's been playing it, like actively, not even playing it as an idle game, like actively playing it as like a problem-solving, number crunching game for all of these. There's like legitimate like events and storylines that happen, and there's like a definite ending, even though you could keep going, but you wouldn't be unlocking anything new. But there's like a definite end goal that eventually does come about and ends a story of some type that I never even thought would be a thing. Like I never expected that, because I only ever played like Cookie Clicker on my phone. 2, I played the second one.
And that's not even made by the same people who made Cookie Clicker.
And it literally is just like, get more things to make more cookies, and it doesn't get any deeper than that.
Yeah.
But this is like crazy.
Yeah.
And playing it actively like that, and it only being 20% in, and having put in 400 hours of actively playing the game, like not even letting it sit. That's actively playing the game. There's just so much content to be had. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it's content rich, which is the fun part. Because like you're working towards like, all right, I've beaten 4 Titans out of like 19 or something. And like each one of those unlocks, another part of the game, along with having to beat bosses in the other part of the game. Also, like all this other, it's crazy.
Everything feeds into each other.
Yeah. What I was telling Spencer, I was like, this is like my unlock list, and I showed him all my unlocked equipment, and it's like I have one page, and it's like 90% filled up, and then like the second page, and then there's like five or 6 more pages
that are just blank of shit that you have to still do.
Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy.
No,
it's cool though.
Those games are fucking nuts. 2 things. One, you should check out r/incremental games or.
I have been. I've been checking that shit all the time because I'm searching for, because I'm like,
Cookie Clicker.
I finished Cookie Clicker. I finished Leaf Blower.
Or you're just on NGU now, mostly.
I'm just on NGU.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to find one that itches, like a Cookie Clicker Leaf Blower thing.
Kind of way.
Yeah, because NGU you don't click, right? You're not like, it's not like a clicker. You're managing a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's like 100% a manager.
And there's not like a, I don't know, big thing you click. So I was like, I kind of like that.
It's just numbers, and they just go up.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to find one.
One thing, so the way Matt introduced this to me is I didn't realize that you were doing this really. I saw that you were playing some of these games.
Like these, I've tried a lot.
Mr. Mine, Clicker Heroes, Grim Clicker, Idling to Rule the Gods, Loop Odyssey is something different.
No, Loop Odyssey is an idle game.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch on there that either like are not, like haven't been worked on in a while.
Oh, you don't like Grim Clicker? Only 0.2 hours?
No.
Clicker Heroes wasn't even open.
No, I did. I played these both for about an hour.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I think because I removed them from my library.
Oh, damn. They weren't worthy.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck out of here.
Wizard and Minion Idol?
Yeah, this one's a lot like numbers go up, but like it literally does not work on my machine.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then Time Warpers, is that also one?
Yeah.
Realm Grinder?
Yep.
That's probably like an NGU like.
I haven't opened this one.
Oh, okay.
Realm Grinder is actually the second thing I was going to talk about. I think you would like that. It's a it's like it's a clicker, but it's like fantasy based, and you basically have runs that like you can like unlock secret factions by doing certain stuff for other factions. I play a little bit on my phone, but I think it has a desktop version too. I would I'd recommend checking that out if you're if you're bored with NG.
I'm not bored. I'm just
No,
like I
and I
want
was
like
just saying,
another
like,
one.
Yeah, to fill in that void.
You got to
right?
break it up. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. That's why I meant it. Really, it's just that if you wanted to break it up with something else, Realm Grinder I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, the one that Matt had me play.
Oh yeah, this one's really good.
The one you had me play, it's like a mixture between a legitimate, I wouldn't say case study, but like theory about AI, and it's like really minimalist, right? And so it's called Paperclip.
Paperclip, Universal Paperclip.
Yeah, it might be Universal Paperclip, but and it's just a browser based game. And it's compared to these, it's relatively short in the storyline, but it's kind of a thought experiment in a way. It's based on a thought experiment where you start out as I think you start as a company or as a person, and you're making paper clips, and then you're coming up with ways to make paper clips more, like faster and more efficiently. And at first you're clicking, and then it's like, okay, every time you click, it counts for 15. You know, it's just like other clickers. And as you keep going, you start to automate the processes just like normal. But the whole point of the thing is it's realizing this theory about when you automate enough with AI, and you give AI a particular goal in mind, and you don't pay attention too hard to the what the parameters are to accomplishing that goal, bad things can happen. And I almost don't want to reveal what happens. But it's kind of like this really cool sci-fi story that happens while you're playing the game, and it reveals itself to you as you go.
Yeah.
And like really minimalist faction.
It's Universal Paperclip. Yeah. You can beat it in like 8 hours.
Yeah, easily. I think I beat it in like 6 or 5 hours, and I was playing it like literally it was like an afternoon, and then like the next morning, and then I was done. I was done with the game. But it's really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's just a browser based game. There's no visuals. It's just text.
Just text. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's just strictly
yeah, it's really minimalist, but it's fun.
Cool. I'm glad you have joined the Degen side and are playing idle games.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was just like, let's give it a shot.
But
this is kind of dope.
I'll give credit to Matt, like just diving into the idle games, kind of like made me realize that I should. It put me over the edge to actually like trying to just play like another city builder game, because for a long time I've like oh, I don't have time, or they're usually time consuming or whatever. But I've always wanted to put more time into playing those types of games, and so then I was like, fuck it, I'll just look at them, and then I'll download them, and I'll just do it. Just fucking. I'm only wasting my own time by not doing it, right? So
right.
Just do it, and like I at first I tried to play a game that was like Banished. It's called like Kingdom Reborn, and it's like if you took Banished and then added in a weird like mobile style multiplayer, and then also you can't just make your own decisions. You have to draw cards out of a deck that decide what tech you have, and I'm like, fuck this. That's stupid. I hate that. But yeah, sorry. It's just like, I don't know. It's fun to just play the game you want to play, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, did you have anything else you wanted to go over, Matt? I don't want to take over anything.
No. Nope. Just fun games.
Fun idle games. So, you're still on the lookout for something that replaces Leaf Blower. And maybe,
I'm really looking for something to replace Leaf Blower and Cookie Clicker. Yeah. Something in that vein. And let me tell you, there's not a lot of good ones. Like there's ones that people are really like, they really like, but like I like these ones because they're on Steam. I don't have to worry about Flash. I don't have to worry about keeping browsers open.
Right.
So Steam is really like the only good ones are Numbers Go Up Idle, Cookie Clicker, and Leaf Blower.
And I guess maybe Realm Grinder once you try that out. Yeah, that makes sense though, because Cookie Clicker originally started out as just a browser-based game, and then that's when like that
most
whole
of them did, yeah.
I think Cookie Clicker is what shot idle games like up, like clicker games became a thing, and so it makes sense that a lot of the ones that people really like now are ones that came out of that probably just followed its template by making.
Well, some of them are
game.
just nutty, like some of the browser ones are crazy. There's one called Crank, and you just crank.
Whoa.
Oh, like a thing?
Yeah.
With your
man, I thought it was the idle version of the Jason Statham movie.
No, you just hold you just click it.
Oh, okay.
And then that like evolves into something crazy. And there's ones, they all evolve into something crazy, basically.
Yeah.
I like ones that do
it's all exponential.
Where they're like, this is the type of game it is. And it's like, now it's the same game, but now you're in like a fucking alternate universe. Like
so like a logical extreme.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like, Cookie Clicker, and then at the end there's like this eldritch grandma apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
it's pretty fun.
That's nutty. I wasn't expecting that.
I love reading the ticker in Cookie Clicker. They have like little like event.
Oh, that's like the best
updates.
thing about Cookie Clicker.
Yeah,
it's just the fucking ticker. It's
it's
like,
we're all what's happening. Yeah,
our current currency is cookies now because we just got so many of them. Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, bunch of angry grandmas are screaming in the void. What's going on over here? 4 and 5.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been refreshing. Incremental games are incremental, and they're pretty hardcore.
Oh my god, yeah, no, they're like, I was like just trying to find like good phone ones because like if you think it's hard to find like good ones on.
Dude, I've been looking on the phone ones, and like Apple will not show you good ones. They will only show you the ones that whales play.
Ones are like, hey, yeah, you get a double bonus if you watch an ad for 30 minutes, or
and
you
I'm
get
like,
a double bonus for
I've
30
waited
minutes
to
you
those
watch an
games,
ad.
and I'm so glad that you're also experiencing it. But it's
no, I just uninstall.
Yeah.
As soon as they're like,
ad comes up and you have to wait.
Yeah, you're like
the X, and then it does a second part of the ad. And you have to click the X again, but the X moves. Yeah, I dealt with that shit for a long time.
I'm like, I'll just uninstall you. I'm just not gonna play you.
You could purchase the game and have less ads or no ads depending on the game. Yeah,
I love the ones that have the audacity to charge you $100 for anything in the game.
Yeah, those are just to get children who have access to their parents' phone to fuck them.
And whales.
But I've actually known people at work who were talking about how their kid got or were playing a game and got charged like $100 because they the game just had a thing that popped up right in front of them, right in the middle of the screen, and they just clicked it. And it was just like, yes, and it's like, okay, and it's just Yep.
Don't let your phone keep your credit information saved if you have children, or just in general, really, but mostly if you have children.
Yeah.
And they use the phone.
But have you found anything good? Like, because you were saying that Apple doesn't show you the good ones, but there are good ones on mobile.
Yeah, I've been playing this one.
There's a few.
Kittens game. Yeah.
Kittens, yes. It's like you have like a civilization of cats, and you like have to manage. It's like it's like a really fancy management game.
It's basically like a civilization builder.
Oh, that's cool.
That I've been playing.
You can like elect leaders and shit. Yeah. Another good fun one is Home Quest. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just people and like there's like a story. So, but I don't know if that's on Apple or not. I mean, phone ones are tricky because Apple.
Yeah, there's a lot of Android specific games because it's so much easier to make it, like the ceiling's so much lower for just being able to have it playable, because you don't even have to have games in the store to have it work on Android. You can just have people download it from your website and play it. So you can just do anything.
Yep. And like Kitten's game like is on Apple, but like you can't, like, it's like the fourth result when you search it. Like, Apple will not show you
the game you're looking for,
the games that you want to see. It's like, try all these ones that are filled with microtransactions. And I'm like, I don't want any of those. Like, I would just like ones that I could just buy and then just play. And then that was
the ones with the microtransactions have the monies to pay for the ads to get on top of the list on everything. And it's just a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, for real.
Games should have never been made. That's just basically it. You know, games were a mistake.
True. It's getting you know, we're getting a little long in the tooth when it comes to our podcast today. Are we?
Yeah, I'm good to call it.
Are we good to call it?
Yeah, I'm good to call. I got some Pathfinder and Idle games to play, so I gotta get started on those. You know, just got level 2 in Pathfinders.
Oh, nice.
Gotta make a king or whatever.
No biggie. Oh,
no big deal. Oh, gotta stretch.
Oh yeah. All right. We're kicking. We're on the end card, and I'm putting way less effort into this nowadays. If you enjoy the podcast, check us out at all of these things currently on your screen, because we're not currently doing an audio version of this podcast, so you can see it. But Matt and I we're the Neanderthal Gaming TV, so you can check us out there. You can check out Fistcake at his socials right there. It's Fistcake or the Fistcake at basically everything. And then our combined forces exist as Content Complete. Or as a Content Complete podcast, and that's all there as well. And we have a new Discord, which I will try to include a link in the description of this video to go to the Discord as well. So check us out at all those places. Any last words?
Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.
Peace. Bye.